Welcome in the ring, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in the ring. Good to have all of you with us. Share the damn live for us. Smash that emoji button as well. Share, 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 share wherever you're joining us from. Good to see all of you on the live. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Mario, Bella, Penelope, Wendy, Marcia, Everett, Cheryl. Good to have you. Wendy Caesar, how are you doing? Good to have you on the live tonight. Cheryl, Glenn, Debbie, Everett, Penelope, Anthony. Good to have Anthony on the live. Yep. Mara says, I'm in the ring. Wendy, let me know if you're hearing us loud and clear, folks. We're fired up and we're ready to go. Good to have all of you on the live tonight. Yep. You all know 12592 what's going down, folks. What's going down? Tis the season. Tis the season. Tis the season. Once you hit the 592, all manner of things you're going to hear. But we're happy that we have you good folks with us tonight. Welcome. The opener. You all ready for it? Welcome, folks. Welcome. We're so excited to get started. We are so excited to get started tonight. Tis this season you're going to hear and see and hear and see and hear all manner of things, folks. Elections 2025 is going down. It's on the way, you know. You might know it. You might know it, folks, but it's on the way. And as we see, the board. Are we missing anything, folks? We're missing something. Pace and power. The board. The board says it all. But good to have all of you on the live tonight. Good to be with some good folks. Thanks for joining the broadcast. Share the damn live wherever you're joining us from. Good to have you, Romel and Tess and Malika and Sharon, Glycis, Joylyn. Good to have you. And thanks for the folks who letting us know they're hearing us loud and clear. Sharma and all the folks from Kukwani who entertained us and hosted us over the weekend. Thank you, folks, especially to Claudine LaRose Duqua, especially to Michelle Sibian, especially Sharmila. Thank you so much, guys, and all the other folks who played a part in having us have a really good stay in Kukwani over the weekend. Thank you, Region 10. Thank you, Ichuni. Thank you all. As I said, good to have all of you on the live tonight. We got a lot to talk about, so I want to get to it. Could somebody just say pace and power? I want to get to it. Well, my brother Vintroy Jordan is back. You all don't come around. Good to have Vintroy. Good to have Vintroy back. He was down for a little while. You know, sometimes you need a little rest. You all know how things are. Sometimes you just need a little rest. Well, folks, today, Vintroy and I spoke with a farmer. We were up in Bobis. We spoke with a farmer. He got some things to talk. Let's start there tonight. He got a couple things to talk. My Lord. He got a couple things to talk with them boys. The injustices, the marginalization, the discrimination. He got a couple things to talk. You all think it's easy out there, folks? Well, it is not. I want you all to know it is not. It is not. It is not. And some people don't care left nor right, you know. Who in, who out, Guyanese know. We got to work either way. We have to work either way. So Guyanese, not too concerned. All the shilly-shallying and the dilly-dallying. Guyanese know we got to work either way. And then we can talk about gold. And then we can talk about the false prophet. Irfaan Ali. Among other things, folks. Take a look. Take a listen. This is Bobis, Region 5. Farmer shares his concern. Shadow, Minister of Agriculture, Vintroy Jordan. Take a look, folks, and take a listen.
We're at the MMA scheme in the Mahaika-Maikoni Abari Agricultural Development Authority. And we'll be speaking with a farmer, Mr. Abdul Rahim, who owns for over 35 years a number of cultivation areas, estimated in the hundreds of acres, and also been cattle farming. He has to discuss with us today a plethora of issues, some ranging from corruption to injustices and discrimination against him, his workers and his family. And so today I want you to listen and understand what is happening here in the Mahaika-Maikoni Abari Agricultural Development Authority. So, Mr. Rahim, good morning again.
Morning.
We're here in 2025. We were here last year. And I noticed this time around that we're here, there are further intrusion onto your land and your access to the rice, the
On the left
farmland,
bank of Barry.
the left bank of the Barry River, where you have hundreds of acres of
Acres of
land,
rice land and
where
cattle.
you and cattle, where you were basically plying your trade and having a living from it for a number of years.
Spend millions over there digging up trench, digging up dam, make fence, make wire, and my house over there. Everything is over there. And because as Zairafa didn't give this low life permission to occupy my landing and my transportation dam, I can't get access to go over there. This is my accessories from the left bank to from the right bank to the left bank.
So Zaid Rafudin, the deputy, well, they would call him deputy chairman of
Right.
MMA. He is the person that is involved in.
The boy says Zaid sell the land, and Sami says Zaid sell the land, and you occupy what you want.
But we know that neither state land nor reserve nor accessories cannot be sold by any government official, be it whom they might be on the board of MMA or in the administration. They still cannot do that. What are some of the new developments from the last time we were here to know that has caused, him to move from one point to the next?
He forced himself to occupy all way I got, to humbug me from going and doing my job. I spend millions of dollars here, and he says Zaid gave him the permission, so he come one time, he dig 2 times, he dig 3 times, he dig 4 times, and now you want to go to my head.
So
he just destroying my life here.
From all that I'm seeing, I know the last time we were here, that drain
didn't dig. That dig 2 weeks ago.
Wasn't there.
Right.
And I know the house right there is your wife's house.
There, my wife and that has nothing to do with me there. This fence newly destroyed. When he did that 2 weeks ago, look what he did here now. He had destroyed my life with this government.
So out of this, we also made public statements and called upon MMA to action, take the necessary steps into remedying this issue here at Abari, which is controlled by MMA ADE.
Oh, correct.
And we are now understanding that MMA would not have done anything in terms of having or bringing a solution
or a discussion with both parties to see what is going right from wrong. Because they're the one who involved in the wrongdoing. Zaid Rafadeen, even with Dr. Bob, the CEO, and Ramjit, they says it's no man land. And I'm here for 35 to 40 years, doing my agriculture, bring my money from New York, spend millions of dollars. Now I'm losing because of MMA default.
Right. And in addition to that, I know you wrote to the general manager, Mr. Ramjit, at MMA
several times.
And what is the update on that?
All put on gone in no man take responsibility, no reaction. Even the agriculture minister, even Dr. Bob, even I was supposed to send a letter to the president, Ali. Dr. Bob said, don't do that, I'm going to investigate, and all gone in their fears. Agriculture, Zulfakar, he also involved in it. I sent letter to he. He is the fuck-up agriculture minister, refused to acknowledge as a minister in farming. He never wanted to come and intervene in it. Where should I turn?
I remember the last time we spoke also, the minister hurriedly put together a team and came to deal with lands. They said state lands and lands that are under issues with lands. You approached the minister also at that time.
Letter after letter, email after email, phone call after phone call, all on duck back.
And you also presented to him, I know, a package.
Complete package of everything that took place in this.
And your documentation, and legality of the land.
Everything I give him, and he all ignore. And then, now I further that to my lawyer, Mr. Todd.
So, as at present, Dr. Dexter Todd is your legal representative.
Legal representative.
And the minister, I think this is about 4 months running, he has not responded to you.
No way,
He has not yet answered any of the questions.
Nothing at all.
Because I know for a fact that he said in whilst at MMA, that meeting with farmers and residents, that he was there to deal with state land and persons having access and alleged selling of state land, because I made that in a public
Clearly,
statement.
you're right.
And to date, I know for a fact also that the very person that we made allegations against, which we know we have the facts, of selling state lands and of illegally having people have
Entering other
structure
people's accessories.
and entering onto farmers' land.
Land and humbug
He's
them.
still the vice chairman at MMA and he's still operating.
He's still doing the same thing because this happens only 2 weeks ago. And you were here, I think, 2 or 3 months ago when
Correct.
we took the pictures.
Yes.
And this is a new destroy me. Now he coming on the 5th crop I can't plant rice. How would I go over there? You just tell me. Anybody can tell me. Ali Jagdeo, Mustafa, anybody can go tell me how we go meet over there. I can't work. And I bring millions of money here.
Yes, and so for the emphasis, you're a migrant, having your own rice mill.
Exactly. I mill rice there right now 3 weeks ago.
So you're a businessman coming out of Bushlot village,
West Coast Berbice.
West Coast Berbice, having these lands for over 30 years.
Over 30 years, we a cow, we a find something here cow there right now.
And it's a similar thing happening in the
Kingley area.
no, well, that is another issue. But this same Maikoni MMA,
yes, Sabari area.
Sabari area, where farmers from Cane Grove, Mahaika, are complaining that the very individual is
Doing
now
the same
giving
thing.
lease to persons who do not own lands and taking them off of the land.
Well, let me give you a fact. Lies within the PPP party. This same Zaid Rafadin took away one girl land there that he have lease for about 16 years. And within 3 months, he have lease for it. And when he putting up some building there, also, he got within 3 days.
This is within the same
place where he was
scheme.
farming, you see, MMA scheme. He was trying to take that dry for years. So they all are a piece of the pussy party. They do what they want, how they want, and whoever they want to. This is the fact. You don't have nothing to check all the government offices.
Well, you as a farmer would know. You know for a fact, once I check or try to get access, somebody gonna get knocked off because they don't allow us as legal representative of the people. We cannot even access information.
Good, but
they
I'm gonna tell you exactly.
They don't answer.
They're frightened.
They answer questions with one line and all those nonsense and send you running like little children when you ask about
Certain
accountability.
questions. Yes. You know what Dr. Bob tell me? Somebody's going to get fired. So 2 weeks he got a meeting on the 29th. That was 2 years ago. On the 29th, when I went back to him, he said, man, do you have a lease for the land? I said, no. He said, but a no man land. So he's one of the crook in the PPP government. And he's on top. He's the CEO of MMA. So what the little shitty boys got to do, like the commoner says, you can't take bribe. But he was a corporal once. He was taking bribe from the bottom up. So everyone in the PPP government is run under bribery and corruption. Because if Dr. Bob promised me, when me tell him, said, Doc, how can you come and you stop me? I can't walk. He call up MMA. Promise me. He going to take care of it. Said, no, somebody get locked. Call the office. 2 weeks when I went back, he said, well, what am I going to do? He said, no, man, land, you don't have lease.
Well,
What that place you here? And I'm here for 30-something years then. I have no right. I have no place that I can carry out my business. I can't farm. I can't mind my cattle. What is going on in this country and who can we go to? And if everybody pull out and don't speak out, then it's continue. It's continue all the time.
well, you know that is a burning issue and many Guyanese today. And I just want to touch on corruption. The transparency, I'm trying to get the right
Transparency International.
Transparency International Corruption Perception Index. They would have highlighted and very clear in that manner, Guyana being one of the most corrupt countries.
The top corrupt country in the
present
world.
administration.
Yes, PPP.
And they don't like for a fact that we speak about it. And here is you're an ordinary citizen and you're making reference to the corruption within a single entity. And I know the Transparency Corruption Index, they use, I think, about 12 agencies throughout the country, and they looked at the levels of corruption. Now, here and now is another scheme, another agency that is known for corruption, and this
The
is MMA.
biggest corruption is the agriculture department, MMA, throughout Guyana, all the rice industry, with MMA or whosoever run agriculture minister. That is the most corrupted aspect we're going in this country.
Well, for sure, because under the Ministry of Agriculture, we have seen corruption at its highest level since probably the beginning of Guyana being a cooperative republic. We've seen it in rice, the rice sector. We've seen it at Gaisuku. We've seen it
rice,
at
backside, everything
MMA.
put their hand
We've
on.
seen it at oh my goodness, it is slipping me. GMC, Guyana Marketing Corporation. We have seen it at NDIA to the top. This one, critics receiving,
millions,
$100 something million, and only 4% of the work completed at this stage. So the Agriculture Ministry, in a whole, is one of the most
corrupt,
one of the most corrupt ministries in the entire country.
And then now look what's going on. Jagdeo, Ali and Mahami, they're beating the cat in the bag, and then I come out straight and say, who help put it?
Well, that's another.
GRA is not a corrupted prick, because GRA undervalue everything that the government had to fight the election 4 years ago. All the vehicle and the taxes. Now they might kill Mahami to pay 900 million. But you are driving it. It's your wafi come out. You under the control. You PPP are running GRA. So from top to bottom, in and out of the fucking PPP. It's for thief and corruption. You don't know where to turn. Corrupt. What is going on? When this corruption is going to stop?
Well, I do understand your frustration, sir. I do understand the frustration. And one thing I say to Guyanese, and we're heading into that season again, it is a time, it is a season that Guyanese must now understand that the only way to end this corruption, because it is a fact that under the last administration, during the tenure of the coalition, nobody can point their fingers to our government saying that we had at least this level of corruption.
Let me give you one verse. Are you bringing that up? Everything this government made mistake. 4 years ago, the APNU, the PNC. Why are you speaking 4 years ago when there were no money? You got flourishing money in your hand, big corruption in your hand, problem in your hand, and you're not talking about the present and about the future. You are talking about 4 years back when there were different times. This is every time you read the news, 4 years back, 4 years this. When they appear, we don't want to hear that. Why you in there with the money, where the money? Give account. You make road, make it today, broke tomorrow. Our money, you're going about them about millions, trillions now from World Bank. Who's going to pay the debt?
Our children and grandchildren.
Me fucking generation after generation, I go pay what you have to. When you get the World Bank money, you freeze them and your PPP goons and thugs. And the debt is for our generation to pay. What kind of government is this? Who is governed really? What is government?
What we do have a solution though, Mr. Rahim. And that solution is, and I mean, Guyanese generally must know, and we plead with them, get the PPP out of office.
They're
a simple
supposed
vote.
to, but here what happened?
A simple vote.
You ever feed monkey with molasses? Soon as you only go become, them Indian this like monkey. Soon as the PPP some tongue, they suck onto it. Them is a born them in a suck soup, them a suck them white bone up here where people spit out. Them people this for this PPP are suck pork, white bone, and run from the foolish thing. What them are full in them ears.
So what message would you give to...
You gotta change up people, you gotta change. Go to the people who listen, go to the people who can help you. Go to the people who look for the facts of the punishment I got through. The people have to step up. You can't allow them to walk upon you and full your heads with molasses and stir your brain. Come out and get out and do what you're supposed to do. Look what they're doing here. Just look what they do here. And nearly one ordinary man, what about millions more who just facing the same thing? Every time you look the news, so they have a problem with the government. The people, the worst corrupted president and government in the whole damn world. I can't understand the people them for fall too. But not only that, they're hungry, they're lost, so you feed them like a hog and they fall for it. 100,000 when you're talking about, that's the people money, that's taxpayer money. That is for vote. They pay you, you want money to vote for them sucker. This not lie. Look, them since them get 10 day walk, nobody now want to walk. Nobody don't want to walk. They feed you like they feed dog. You see 100,000 people are walk for Matty for their own money. 100,000 can't even buy sugar and rice. Can't buy sugar and rice and then a gila. That's the people money. They make you have a sign here, you have a sign there, you have to take out picture. You know all that for what? Corrupted the voting list, corrupted for vote.
Well, you know, we have always said, and the leader of the opposition would have made it very clear just a few days ago, with Sandy, he would have said it before, that we don't believe in this cash grant. As a matter of fact, it should be, and really is, a cash transfer because it is the citizens' money.
Money, exactly.
And all you're doing is giving it back to them in tranches. And so we believe, and we will, take in office, ensure that citizens receive a transfer of the country's wealth, which is their own, in a much more predictable manner.
Easy and more respectful manner.
Of course, more respectfully.
You can say, okay, we're going to help you with your lifestyle, or I don't know, grant this or what?
All right, Miss.
And the grant now, already I get them to only who know who to some of them I get them.
Well, that is something
like,
that
for example, them I give steel rod and cement and what have you for small people who hungry. But are the rich? The rich who know who I get poor man like a house and they can't get 5 steel rod or 2 sacks cement. So this government is who know who the croonies is and the goons and the thugs is who know who in a circle. This is now I said themselves. I fight each other now. Who do so and who do so. Within the crap of bone inside, them sprawl up now.
All right.
This is not me saying, look at them news, look at them statement.
All right, as we wrap it up, I mean, we have been here before. This is the second time we're here on the ground. But
look what they do, they do all of that.
We will take the necessary videos, the footage. MP Duncan will definitely get us those shots. But what is it that one final statement. What is that you're calling upon MMA to do, the authorities, the Ministry of Agriculture, and the MMA, which falls under that ministry? What is it
I want them to come out here, find out the meaning of reserve, our accessories, and who has permit who, and who are owner for whatever they occupy. How they can carry out their life. Come out and see. Don't say, take that. Come and see who belong to where and what is their production problem here. You can't come and deceive people, destroy people and sit in the office. MMA need to come out and come out fairly and justly to everybody. Where you shilling as it is.
And I will add, joining with you, that I believe a thorough investigation should be done into the entire allocation of not only the lease, but the occupation of land.
Exactly that word.
And
you occupy for how much year? And even if it's the government land, then there's a solution to it. But you can't take out one bulldog and put in another bulldog. That's what Zaida do. Tell him how much he buy over there that I know from. Come over here and take me there 25 years ago.
And for it, I will say that, I've said this before and I'm not afraid to say it because I was threatened with lawsuits and all of that.
If they want, I don't care.
When I made the statement the last time. And again, I'm saying it because this here is evidence. The Minister of Agriculture must immediately launch an investigation into the allegations of Mr. Zaid Rafadeen.
And Ramjit.
And now the general manager also.
And the CEO, Mr. Bob. Which I care a letter and every document. What you have, what the lawyer have, MMA have, Dr. Bob have, everybody has. And one was to the Mr. Ali. Dr. Bob said, don't get man, what take care of business. And he put me out of your own life. Dr. Bob. And he's the CEO of MMA. So where we stand? We ain't standing nowhere. I don't know. Well, I personally ask you, as member of the government, whether opposition or not, to look into the people's business.
And we have been doing that.
That's what all I want. Let everything straight out and let people carry on their life in a peaceful manner.
We have been doing that. So I want to call finally upon the Minister of Agriculture to launch an investigation into MMA. Let us know over the years the amount of lease lands that were allocated and to whom in the scheme. And also
yes, that's
tell us,
left and right.
And tell us about the operations of Zaid Rafadin as the vice chairman of this entity. And why is it that allegations are being leveled against him continuously about illegal selling of land?
Correct.
Allegations of him granting to himself,
exactly.
for land and wanting to occupy major portions of lands in the MMA
scheme.
Only last week, I think, or the week before, there is some sort of resort that is being built at another section, and a farmer sent to me the videos of the MMA machine doing the work in preparation for the opening of this resort, which is owned by a senior PPP government official. And when the farmers want excavators to do the necessary drainage and irrigation within the scheme, they cannot have it.
Let me add you a big corruption. I have a friend by the name of Shamir Bakas. Ask MMA, he want 2 days to do some work for him, which MMA usually do for farmers. MMA could not go, so he sent one of Agriculture Minister family a contractor machine to do some work. The machine did 2 days, then MMA do a half day, then he go back and do another 2 days. So I asked Mr. Bob this question. I said, Mr. Bob, how do the people know how much hour their machine work and what they pay the operator and the watchman? And how much work has been done because the man has signed off for none? It could be 7 hours, 17 hours, 700 hours, 7,000 hours has been paid to that subcontractor. That's supposed to sign and go to MMA. And he's supposed to get a record. Here, Dr. Bob. Oh no, they can't do that. I'm looking to that. I'm still fucking waiting looking for that.
Well, you know, MMA is chief when it comes to those misappropriations.
Sure, because misuse some money.
Only recently we spoke about the misappropriation of millions of dollars at that entity.
Correct.
And the minister, no less a person than the Minister of Agriculture himself, answered in the National Assembly 2 months ago. And he said, hear me out, he said that the very person that was involved in the misappropriation of funds, having signed people's check and have a watchman looking at the machine for months and collecting the money, and that he has been sent home from the job. And only 2 weeks ago, I myself saw the very officer working at MMA, doing the same job that he has to do.
And here told me after you, I'm going to cut you. They tell us, okay, every month you must pay back it. Why you're a thief and you got to pay back?
And that is it. Then they're telling him he must pay it back, not over the counter, under the counter.
So that's another thief again.
So I'm happy that you as an ordinary resident and a farmer in the scheme knows about this.
Exactly.
So I'm going to, again, I mean, it would be an alert, but I'm going to ask the minister to provide the dismissal letter and the various
bring this one up. How much he
that he would have made.
Bring it up. How much he pay for Shamir Bakas 2 days work, which not sign off on the job and which not signing in the job. But when subcontract do it, how subcontractor go do free work for MMA? Who paid under the book?
Paid.
7 hours, 17 hours, 700 hours. Who signed for the fucking hours and who received the check? I asked Bob, I said, there's any accountability of MMA scheme? It's the people money and it's people machine. He said, I'm going to look into that. Up to now, you can't hear nothing. So what is going on with these people? That's what I want to know.
All right.
Who is keep accountability?
Thank you very much, Mr. Rahim. Of course, we will raise this again. And as we stand as a representative of this region, I stand in support and more so shadowing the Ministry of Agriculture. I want to give you every assurance that in the shorter space of a few months from now, this matter that is before you, in the PPP, which I do not have any amount of confidence in, fail to address, that we will address it on the first month taking office. We will address this.
I want you to do this. Let them know I'm taking back what belongs to me right
Of course,
now.
you have every right.
I'm going to start working on that. I'm starting to fence back. I'm starting to put all these in cameras for me and send it to Mr. Todd, please.
Yes, your lawyer will
So
have a...
instead of asking me question, you see what's going on. Go around and see how you dig the pace. Take your pictures out and go. I'm going to call you in and out. And I got to add to it. 4 crop in a plant. I lost 5,000 back for their crop. I'm going to sue them for 20,000. If I do not plant this crop again, because I can't go over, I'm going to sue them for another 5,000 back. Because you see, I can't walk. I can't meet over there. I can't even go blind me calf because me just go over me tractor, me can't go. I can't go somewhere else. There's no car across. I got my land in here and me get my land in there. They took away my rights. So where I stand, I don't know.
And I also notice you have your workers here with
Everybody
you.
they stand still because you can't do the work. Me got to clean the creek, me got to do that watch.
You see, I want to be as less political as possible, but it comes back to the point
Same thing.
that this government, it is not about race and ethnicity alone, or ethnicity
Let
alone.
me clarify that point.
It comes back to the point that you...
Individual. I am not affiliated with no party. I affiliated with myself, my investment, and my life. But I would turn to who can listen to me. It could be who you are. Once you listen and you can work along with me to get life going, I will. So they can't come and say parties or PPP or PNC or 4 years ago. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about for today and for tomorrow. And if this is what it takes to put Jack, Jill, and Harry, is that what I'm going to do? And I'm going to let other people do the same.
Correct.
You want a peaceful life ahead of you. You don't want this corruption piece of crap you live through all your life. I'm 70 years now. I'm here over 40-something here. I went to the bar, upside my car, come down. On this freaking piece of shit every time here, PPP. When Zagan Dad was a man, since Zagan Dad a poor pussy. Me tell him straight out. Zagan was PPP, Borna was PNC. All the rest a piece of crap and mix up. So what take over? Use intelligence and bring forth the good for the people.
Well, we intend to
We
do
want the peaceful life in this country. We have all resources, gold, diamond, backside, manganese, zinc, everything we have. And why we are punished? Where our money going? So if you guys are in there, look out for the people that look out for you. We need government. We need good governing. That's what we need. We don't do
the coalition will bring you that,
We'll do that. I figure out that.
Yes.
And I depend on you guys that we can walk a smooth path of future.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Rahim. Thank you. Well, viewers, you've heard it dear. Mr. Rahim would have laid it out in simple terms. When we speak about corruption, he spoke of it. When we speak about injustices, he made it very clear. When we speak about discrimination and marginalization, Mr. Rahim has echoed all. As the next government in waiting, we are prepared to move across this country, speak to every single Guyanese and hear their concerns, so that when we take office, we'll be able to not only manage Guyana better, but we'll be able to better serve each individual and community as the need arises. As the next government, we intend to ensure that the levels of corruption and all that has been spoken about there is dealt with in a manner that will bring some amount of satisfaction and relief to the farmer that would have spoken. Mr. Rahim would have made it very clear that as a result of the injustices that were meted out to him or are still being meted out to him, it affects his daily living. And so we call upon the government of Guyana, we call upon the Minister of Agriculture to immediately embark upon an investigation so that the necessary relief could be brought to this farmer, this brother, this Guyanese who intends to make a living out of his farmland and the production of rice. And so with all that was said, I want Guyanese to be assured that the next coalition government intends to take good care of your interests.
Yep, there you have it, folks. There you have it. I did tell you this morning. I did warn you. I did put a disclaimer this morning. You wouldn't want to miss it. Didn't I tell you that? You wouldn't want to miss it. How are you folks doing? How are you folks doing? Zulfikar. Thank you, Vince Roy, Jordan Shadow, for the Ministry of Agriculture. and Mr. Rahim. Thank you guys so much for talking to us. Thanks, Troy, for being out front for that one for us. Folks, lots happening. Lots happening. You know, while all that is happening, folks, while all that is happening, false prophets. False prophets. Who is the real false prophets? That's what you got to ask yourself. Singular, plural. Who is the real Zulfikar? We shall continue in just a little bit. Zulfikar, your name calling. Is Zulfikar a false prophet? Is Ali a false prophet? Ali was throwing hints today, folks. You know, we're big people. I wish sometimes we just come out straight. Don't go wrong, no Ben and so on. Boom. Right there. Folks, the people went to open a well today in Region 3. They didn't know what's living water they're going for. They didn't know Irfaan was going to tell them about the living water. Irfaan started to preach and the people throwing hints at Azruddin Muhammad. You remember how they were in Escrima begging? Sanctions, y'all don't listen to sanctions, man. Don't listen to him. Irfaan was begging today in using religious rhetoric.
I am guided by the great books. Beware thee, children of God, of false prophets. And beware, doom cometh upon those who succumb to false prophecy. And when we speak about false prophecy, it is not only those who will come in the name of the Messiah. It is about those who will come with false messages to betray the minds and hearts of people, to misguide the minds and hearts of people. Let me be first to say that like all of us, we all fall short of the glory of God. Today, I intend to speak for too long. There are imposters masquerading under the banner of human dignity. I will not judge them. All I'm asking you to be is not be misguided. All I'm asking you to be is true to your conscience. All I'm asking you to be is to be true to your heart. That is my message. In our free and democratic society, everyone is entitled. But let your conscience always be your guide.
In our free democratic society, where we jail people when they talk too much about us. You know, we send our goons after them. We send GRA and so on. In our free democratic society, you know, as Irfaan was talking there, I was wondering, as Irfaan was talking there today, you know, Gold was cutting ties with Staffordshire and ISDC. Now, if you never had a link, how could you cut it? If you never had a link, I know some of y'all brighter than me by miles. I like a 45 watt bulb. Y'all is 100, 200, 300, 1000 watt. I am a lane. If you never had a link, how could you cut it? Joy Daxu, you know, Marcia, O'Neillias, Jadis. Maybe we should ask Big Uncle or Zulfikar. Huh? This kind of corruption can't continue. It can't. Ganesh Maipal wants answers, Member of Parliament. And Ganesh know the whole thing. You see the head for goal? Jacob Upadey, Ganesh got the backstory. Ganesh got his side story in the front. So Ganesh gonna come and give me a little backstory. Tell us about this person, Jacob Upuday. He used to line wrong UG a little time. What has he accomplished with the post he had at UG? What transformation? A lot of scandals seem to follow Jacob Upadai. So following Big Uncle, following the false prophet. Ganesh, talk to us, talk to us, talk to us. MP Ganesh Mahipal.
Very much, Sharad, and I know that goal is again in center stage, and it requires us to share our views on what is happening with goal. I think it is important for me to first of all say that the initiative surrounding goal, the concept surrounding goal, and the expectation that a country has reference to goal was a good one. And I don't want that to be taken out of context because affording our people the opportunity to have higher education is always good. What could have happened, of course, is strengthening the University of Guyana and let the University of Guyana have that opportunity to run with an initiative like GOAL so that the University of Guyana could have expanded being an academic institution with the know-how and put it in place. Instead, what we see is this government utilized Jacob Opadei, who's a former vice chancellor at the University of Guyana, who did not enjoy the confidence of the staff at the University of Guyana, who was concluded as one of the most controversial vice chancellor the University of Guyana ever had, and ended his ties not in a zone where people felt comfortable with his modus operandi. Today, years after, we see him still close to the People's Progressive Party, and now he is the director of the Gold Program. I had asked a question which was not answered as yet as to what is his salary and remuneration package from the government of Guyana with reference to the Gold Program. And I am told unofficially that he receives in excess of $1.5 million a month. I must say that I know Jacob Opadei because when he was interviewed for the position of vice chancellor at the University of Guyana, he was shortlisted as number two. The number one person, all five members that conducted the interview did not find favor in terms of having the same name for the number one person. So when we moved to the number two person, Jacob Opadei was for all five. And that's how he became the vice chancellor of the University of Guyana. That team was Gail Teixeira, Odinga Lumumba, myself, Dr. Rupert Rupnarayan, and Melsita Bovell. When he became the vice chancellor of the University of Guyana, I was the student president. And I remember there was an action where the university administration was moving to increase the late fee for students who did not pay their tuition within a stipulated time frame, and they were going to put an additional cost of $30,000 as the penalty. I went to Jacob Opadei's office and I said to him, I don't think that you are being fair to the students of the University of Guyana to decide today that you are going to put a penalty of $30,000, implement it tomorrow will cause some degree of chaos, and you're being unfair to students because you don't know what is it that students have to go through in order to get the money to pay for their tuition. So he said to me, Ganesh, you make sense. Take it to the academic board at the University of Guyana and I will support you. I remember standing up at the academic board, building my case, putting forward this strong case for the students of the University of Guyana, only to be lashed down by this very Jacob Opedei, who promised to support and in turn said that we cannot reverse the decision because the decision will benefit the University of Guyana and bring in more money. From then, I had concluded that Jacob Opedei is not someone to trust. I had concluded that Jacob Opedei, as far as I'm concerned, is not someone who stands by his words. And I was convinced that Jacob Opedei cannot be someone whose words I can trust. Now we fast forward to goal. Let me put before you, Sherrod, and viewers, that goal in 2021 was awarded a sum, well, I should say trading, including scholarship, under the Ministry of Public Service, under Sonia Parag's watch, received in 2021 2,596,319,000, of which the monies associated to goal is from this line item, which was over $1.3 billion. dollars. In 2022, the same line under the Ministry of Public Service received a $3,084,967,000, of which close to $1.5 billion dollars associated directly to gold. 2023, the same line received $3,870,917,000, of which close to $2 billion associated directly to gold. In 2024, a sum of $5,952,525,000, of which close to $4 billion associated directly with gold. In 2025, a sum of $7,838,775,000, of which close to $6 billion associated directly with gold. We now come to how gold operates. Gold, Guyana Online Academy of Learning, is the machinery in Guyana that shortlist and award the scholarship. But to get the spaces or to know the availability of the programs at these respective universities outside of Guyana, GOAL works through a middle organization or a third party arrangement. And in this third party arrangement, GOAL will first speak to a place or an institution called ISDC, which means the International Skill Development Cooperation in the UK. So when they speak to ISDC, ISDC will then go and search for these respective universities and communicate back with GOAL to say we found the 10 scholarships or 10 vacancies, not scholarship, 10 vacancies at this university or 10 openings. We found 50 openings at the other university. We found that this program is being run at this university or this program, whatever. And ISDC would have had to sign a contract with GOAL because they have to be paid for that service. So students now will apply to these respective universities that ISDC engaged with. And of course, ISDC and these universities, they will have to have a contractual agreement and arrangement or possibly a memorandum of understanding. ISDC is just one of the third parties being dealt with. There are three other third parties. There was one that is based in Spain. Third one was UNICAF, UNICAF, and of course the Coursera. These are all the third parties that GOAL associates with to deal with these universities, and they have contractual agreements and obligations. What was said to us now when it comes to the University of Staffordshire? So University of Staffordshire, we are told by Goal through a press release that on November 30th, 2023, Goal had a representative. The representative was not named in this press release, but as far as we're aware, only one person is associated to Goal, and that's Jacob Opodei. I don't know if he has other people that are working under his ambit, but we were told that he is the sole chief cook and bottle washer for Goal. So he alone administers and is in charge, and he's the only one that has the authority to deal with Goal. And on November 30th, we are told that a Goal rep, I'm assuming it could very well be him, went to the United Kingdom and engaged with the leadership of the University of Staffordshire. And this engagement was a good engagement based on that press release that was put out by Goal. And this engagement led to the signing of a memorandum of understanding between ISDC, and Goal even went on in their press release to say that the signing of this memorandum of understanding was further pronounced on by way of an acknowledgement from the University of Staffordshire and ISDC. There was a specific part that I read which said that a letter was issued to show that there is the agreement in writing. Now, it says here, and I quote, subsequently, the University of Staffordshire's officials issued a letter to Goal confirming this arrangement. Well, we got to get that letter. That letter got to come out public for us to believe it because, as I said, believing Jacob Opodei is something that no one should put their head on a block with. No one should put their head on a block for Jacob Opodei. Believing him is not worth it. He will cause you lots of pain should you believe him. He's an untrustworthy gentleman. Sadly, I have to say that about him, but it's because of experiences that I had with him. Now, this memo was signed, as he said, but University of Staffordshire is saying that we don't have no ties to ISDC. We have never had any ties with ISDC. So if the university is saying there is no ties, and the government through Goal is saying that they have severed ties, what really have they severed? What agreement was there? Now I have a bigger question that I want to be answered. When we approved the budget, when we approved the sum of money for the year 2024, because they had discussions in November 30th, 2023. When we approved the budget in 2024, it took into account this agreement, as Goal indicated, as Jacob Opodei indicated in his press release. 2024 budget took into account this memorandum of understanding that they had with the University of Staffordshire. And they budgeted a sum of 5,970,356,000, which is an increase, a significant increase from what was spent in 2023. 2023, they spent 3,870,917,000. And with this agreement at the University of Staffordshire, as they claim, it increased to over $5.9 billion. Now, with that agreement and so on, they went on to say in their press statement that there were 1,400 scholarships. 1,400 scholarships, 1,400 scholarships were issued to the University of Staffordshire. So 1,400 students enrolled and began courses at the University of Staffordshire in 2024. The amount of money that was spent from this line item in 2024 is $5,952,525,000. So they spent the money that they budgeted. They had budgeted $5.9 billion and they spent $5.9 billion. So the monies associated with the 1,400 scholarships was paid. It was paid. The question is, who was it paid to? Given that the University of Staffordshire is saying that there were no agreement in place, there is no tie there with them, no ties associated with them. You can't sever something that was never existing. So who was the money paid to? The money obviously would have had to be paid to ISDC, which is the International Skill Development Cooperation. Who from that organization received the money, or was the money wired directly to the University of Staffordshire? That is something that we have to know. And these are questions about corruption that exists in the system. We are questioning the mismanagement of this program called GOAL. We are clearly seeing, because of the lack of information, the lack of evidence to supply the nation to support the claim by GOAL, the non-transparency of GOAL and the unaccountability, the unaccountable nature of GOAL, it brings into question the entire program. You can't spend out all the money in 2024 that was associated with GOAL, then tell us that you're severing ties and not tell us how much money you paid to the University of Staffordshire. And given that University of Staffordshire is saying that they have no ties with you, could very well mean that they received no money from you. So who has the money? Where did the money go? Was it sent to some associate at ISDC and then wired to probably Nigeria, the country where our dear former Vice Chancellor and Director of Gold comes from? I don't know. You don't know. None of us knows. But all of us can assume that because of the corruption that is associated with the People's Progressive Party, and in this instance, it's a fair conclusion with gold, we can assume that and conclude on it because of mismanagement, as clearly outlined here with this situation associated with gold, the non-transparency that exists with this program called gold, and the unaccountable and unaccountability of this program called gold. Those are critical questions that require answers. And the longer they take to provide the answers, the more troubling is the issue. And goal has to come under deep scrutiny, and it should be made transparent for all to understand. This is too big a fish for us not to fry it. Take into account we're talking about billions of dollars that are monies belonging to the taxpayers of this country. Every person, every one of them, of the 1,400 scholarships there that were attending the University of Staffordshire, their scholarship was being paid for by you and I. And we have to have a vested interest in knowing whether our money was really spent behind its intended purpose, which was to provide higher education to 1,400 students, or it was really siphoned off. It was stolen. It was it stolen from us. And who facilitated that? Who was responsible for that? Where did the money go? University of Staffordshire said they have no arrangement with you. You are saying something otherwise. Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. And if you cannot, then it's only fair for Jacob Opedei to be relieved of his duties, sent on administrative leave, facilitate an investigation, clear the air on goal, do an investigation, let the Ministry of Public Service be held accountable. Ashni Kumar Singh, as the minister, has to provide the answer. Sonia Parag, who was there before, has to also provide answers. A proper investigation is now needed into this program called GOAL, especially with what we see. And we are also hearing of another university indicating that they have no ties to GOAL and the government of Guyana, this education program. It's a serious situation. GOAL ought to be investigated and audited by independent auditors because we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars, and this should not be swept under the carpet. Jacob Opedei needs to be relieved of his job, of his duties immediately, and an investigation be facilitated. If his name is cleared and it shows that there are no ties to corruption, there is no ties to mismanagement, no ties to non-transparency, and no ties to unaccountability, then he will come back to his job. But we cannot draw the conclusion that he is not associated to these unfortunates because he has not been transparent. He has not been accountable. He has not been managing the program properly. And he is captured in the entire government that is riddled with corruption as their only multiplying effect in our country that seems to be growing at a rapid pace. Nothing else is progressing in this country. Nothing else is enjoying good life in this country other than corruption. And that is very unfortunate. Thank you very much, Sherrod.
You heard it there, folks. Thank you very much, Ganesh Mahipal, the Shadow Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, speaking there to the issue of gold, folks. My Lord. Last week, wasn't the housing scandal? With Mr. Greaves? Wasn't the housing scandal last week? This week, the gold scandal. This week, the gold scandal. Folks, my Lord. Small wonder this government don't like when people on social media like me talking. Small wonder this government don't like when people on social media like Ganesh and Big Uncle that we just heard from talking, and folks like Melly Mel talking. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, folks. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock as we wrap up at the Square of the Revolution. We standing for democracy at 5 o'clock. Put on your walking shoes. Good to have all of you on the live tonight. They're trying to be now. Suddenly the thing acting up. Suddenly, folks. But good to have all of you on with us. I think Nima Flu Best is going to talk to us very briefly about what's going on tomorrow afternoon.
I'm guided.
I would like to encourage citizens of Guyana to come out and in support of standing against the practice of a government that seeks to remove our human rights of freedom of speech. We've seen what is happening in the case of Ms. Atwell, and I'm quite sure that should even raise further alarm and concerns for residents and citizens of Guyana. I want to encourage you to come out to Square of the Revolution tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Wear something white, something printed, and just come and let's stand and raise our voices on the many issues that continues to affect us as residents and citizens of Guyana. I want to let you know that whatever is bothering you and you're not able to speak about, be it that you can't make a comment because you're working at a public institution, you're not allowed to make comments on social media. You're not allowed to speak out about your rights or something that is affecting you. It's a perfect opportunity for us to let the government know that we will not be silenced, but we will continue to raise our voice for justice everywhere in Guyana. I thank you.
All right, and there's where we leave it this evening, folks. Thanks for being here with us. Just over a tad over an hour. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to us. That's our time, good folks, and that's our program. Thank you very much, Deborah and Wenda, Hazel, Crystal, Kirk, Marlin, Lester, all the other folks who joined us tonight. The thousands of you, 4,000 all of you joined us this evening live, folks. Thanks, Vince Roy, and thanks, Nima, and thank you, Ganesh, and all the other folks who made our program possible tonight. And what it was, thanks to you folks who joined us in your numbers. That's the time, folks, and that's our program. Stay safe. Wherever you're joining us from, stay safe, folks. That's our time. Stay safe. You know the little glitches coming in. It's them boys, the little glitches. Suddenly, stay safe.